Hello and welcome back to the Totally Football Podcast. Today we're going to be looking back on game week 14. I'm Harrison Derlin. I'm joined with Sean Deacon and Oscar Wilson. Today we're going to be looking over a variety of topics, including the sacking of Unai Emery, as well as Man City dropping points, Liverpool beating Brighton, you got the West Ham beating Chelsea. We're also going to be looking at our Premier League team of the decade, so make sure you stay tuned for that, because it'll be a very good debate, lads. Anyway, how are we, lads? Good?
I'm good.
Decent.
Yeah?
Not feeling the best about being an Arsenal fan recently, but we move.
Yeah, lads. I mean, West Ham got the win against Chelsea, but
Surprisingly.
unfortunately, I think this is the first time ever that I've wanted West Ham to lose, and lose badly. Because if we'd lost badly, Pellegrini gets a sack, and for long-term future, I think it would have done us good.
I don't think you should look at it like that, though. Because I think you're in there now.
Yeah,
Pellegrini's a good manager. Just we were doing well before Fabianski got injured.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think football has moved on slightly. I don't think Pellegrini is going to be
He's a bit of a
the man
dinosaur of the game now, but...
Yeah, he's not. He doesn't come across passionate. I mean, it wasn't until the Chelsea game that he came across to see if he actually cared. You know, he was on the touchline. You know, he looked like he actually cared for the first time since he joined the club. I know that sounds a bit harsh, but it's true. You want to see your manager
in the post-match
on the
interview,
sideline.
he didn't look upset like he always normally does.
Well, yeah, because we won.
Well, yeah, no,
So
obviously,
that's
no,
why.
but
He
no,
was
but
not gonna be upset. if we
even
won.
when we win, he still looks like, I don't know.
Well, yeah,
he's not 100% happy.
Because he's dying, isn't he? Basically,
Mm.
a special mention to David Martin, son of Alvin Martin, who's a West Ham legend. Filled in for Roberto on Saturday, and I thought he did a splendid
what he had
job.
to do.
Really,
Yeah.
brilliant. I mean, I'm not saying he's better than some fans are saying. Oh, when Fabianski comes back, no good. And we should just keep Martin in goal. I think that's a bit extreme to say that. But I thought he filled in well, and I thought
He did what he had to do.
he's
Did
a
his
bit
job.
like Noble, isn't he? He actually cares about the club because he grew up as a West Ham fan. You saw how much it meant to him at the final whistle. He went and celebrated in the press.
He broke
bit
down.
with
He
his
was
dad
crying.
and that sort of thing. Yeah, and but did you see Rice with that video released on the West Ham Instagram? I saw it.
Wait, what, the interview?
And he
or-
was like, no, he was kind of, yeah. It was just a video of him basically saying, we know we give West Ham fans heart attacks and
Yeah, I
stuff,
saw that.
but
He said it was the
you
best
know.
day of his life.
yeah, because
Probably because
obviously
he was
he
a-
got released
I
by
saw.
Chelsea,
Yeah,
didn't he? When
he
he
was
was
a-
what was it, 10? He got released or something.
Maybe a little bit older.
14 wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I don't really know.
I think it
I know
was
it was-
14.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you actually do know what age. I mean, I should do, but I'm pretty sure it was 14 that he got released from Chelsea. Mount obviously was there with him from a young age, and Mount was kept on, and that's worked out for Chelsea. But I'm happy for Rice, because when you do get that rejection, it's very easy just to turn around and give up. But look, he's a top-class player, and I'm sure Chelsea would take him now. I'm not sure whether he'd fit in their midfield right now, because
Got
their
Kante.
midfield is class.
I think he's got potential. He's like one of those.
Oh, he's definitely for the
Yeah.
future. He's good. He's good enough for West Ham now, but I don't think he'd get in any Premier League team right now. But he definitely would in the future.
You can see he loves the club as well. He fully
Yeah,
interviews
he
and
just
everything.
he knows he's got a special relationship with the fans, so he's interested in that,
Yeah.
and it shows as well. So but I mixed emotions about the result with West Ham, really, because we get 3 points. Yeah, first time in 17 years that we've won away at Stamford Bridge, but at the same time,
You want him
if
gone.
we look, I'm happy that we've won, but I would have been happy if we lost. I
we
know that
won-
sounds ridiculous.
We won and played well. It would be a
Yeah.
bit different if we got a scrappy goal and won.
Yeah,
And
we played
terrible.
decent. I don't think we were absolutely all over Chelsea, though.
No,
I
we weren't
think it
all
was-
over,
it was
but,
a pretty
for-
even game.
For Chelsea that scores so many goals, we did well.
Oh yeah, but I thought Ogbonna was what?
I think
yeah.
just a class goal, and then everyone else was just generally solid.
Yeah, what
Such
a
like
a
goal
James.
from
class goal.
Cresswell. Yeah, that Cresswell only scores bangers, doesn't he? Do you remember that goal he scored against Leicester in their title-winning season? Top bins.
Oh yeah.
What a goal that was. Was it top bins or was it volley bottom? Oh, mate, all I remember is it was a great goal, right? Leave me alone.
And
Um,
Kepa saved them.
I
Kept him in
thought
it.
Kepa was absolutely brilliant. I mean, not quite as good as Martin, obviously, but still
He made some
decent.
excellent saves.
But for 70, what was it they paid for him? 72 million. I
Yeah.
think
Well,
I'd
he was a panic
expect.
buy, and he's a good panic buy.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite worth 72 million, but in this market, Harry Maguire's not worth 85. So,
True that.
but then everyone always says to me, players are only worth whatever someone's willing to pay for them, which is true, but not true.
Mm.
Never mind. So we got Man City dropped 2 points against Newcastle. Did either of you watch that game?
Yeah, I watched that game.
No, I saw the highlights.
What did you think?
I thought it was a boring game.
reckon?
Newcastle played really well,
Yeah,
and they were solid, doing what
but it
Newcastle
was going to
do.
be boring, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know, when it's Newcastle playing against
Yeah.
top six. But the Shelvey and the De Bruyne goals, class. That actually, they're beautiful.
Mate, I was watching the kickoff, True Geordie's kickoff, and True Geordie's reaction when that Shelvey goal went in. Oh, I was laughing my head off because True Geordie doesn't expect much from Newcastle. He's a bit like
full of
most
it, roll
Newcastle
over.
fans. He just hopes, doesn't expect anything. Because what can you expect? On
It was a
Mike
decent
Ashley?
goal, but the De Bruyne goal is definitely something much more special.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, but the
the
fact that he came
power.
from but you expect that from De Bruyne, whereas from Shelvey,
yeah.
he's a brilliant player, but he's not on the same level as De Bruyne.
I think I prefer Shelvey's goal to get through that many players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the importance of it, the
Yeah.
fact that they weren't even expected to score one against Man City, let alone
Steve
two,
Bruce
and
needs a
get
little bit
draw.
more respect on his name.
Yeah, I think when they first appointed him, Newcastle fans were moaning and giving the club stick, but I definitely think that he's starting to shut a lot of people up.
Definitely.
I mean, their strikers aren't really.
Anything
Doing the-
special.
No, they're not really like doing the business. Like they're really good. So Maximin,
Joelinton is.
So
I'm not
Maximin
sure.
and Almiron, they're good, but for some reason they just.
Almiron got his
they
first
just-
goal contribution in since
Almiron-
January?
No,
maybe?
if he's first ever, it was his
he
first
has
first
assist
ever, was it?
for Newcastle. Yeah.
Oh,
He
God.
hasn't got the stats, but when you watch him, he puts in a shift.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but-
don't
Like,
know.
I rate
all,
Newcastle.
all three of them do, but they just
Yeah.
can't score.
All Newcastle fans will tell you that they love him for his work rate.
Yeah,
but
100%.
He lacks a lot of quality.
He's a bit like Lacazette, like in the sense that Lacazette does have quality, but he's got a terrible away form. But he puts in the work.
I don't think you can quite compare Lacazette to Almiron.
Obviously, Lacazette is much better, but
Yeah.
it's the same kind of situation where he's not up to the standard we want him to be at the moment. Especially this match week, everyone's calling him to go out and get Pepe back in. But I think really Lacazette puts in that work, and that's why we love him he plays for the badge.
So, moving back on to Man City, do we reckon that is it now? Because obviously Liverpool beat Brighton with a Van Dijk brace, so is that it now?
That's
Is
it
the
for
title
Man
race
City.
over?
Not for the title race though.
Well, you reckon Leicester might go after
I mean, clearly, I don't know why people are writing them off.
oh,
they're
no,
9
I agree
points
with
behind.
You, I agree with you.
And they're
above
really-
Man City, and everyone's
Yeah.
talking about Man City overtaking Liverpool, but
I don't think it's over for City. I don't. It was same place last year, 10-point gap or something like
Yeah,
that.
but it's this early as well. It's not like
And the winter period is to come, the December period where many games get played. It only takes 2 games to lose and back to a
But can
tight
you
game.
see? But can you see Liverpool dropping that many points? They're not playing
couldn't
well
have
at the
seen it
minute, they're
last
still
season.
winning.
if they can get through this Christmas period because they have so many games without like dropping.
So if you
without
think they're
them-
still, say, around 10 points clear-ish, around that sort of
In the
maybe
new
3
year.
points
Yeah,
either way.
in the new year,
after
they've
Christmas,
they've
yeah.
wrapped it up.
Yeah.
I think.
100%.
Yeah, I agree with you, lads.
But-
So, did you see the goal from Dunk on the Brighton Liverpool game free kick when Alisson got sent off? They brought on Adrian, he was setting up the wall, and then Dunk just took a very
was
quick free kick.
Quick
Good
thinking.
finish,
Clever.
yeah.
I rate it. I can't fault it.
I think
It was just the
Dunk's
most
good.
switched on the pitch, really.
I think Dunk is really important to that Brighton team as well because
100%.
he's such a solid defender.
Yeah.
He's good from set
he
pieces.
played really well in that game.
Yeah, but I think Liverpool are on this kind of run where even if they're playing badly, they're still picking up points. So what's going to happen when they're playing brilliantly?
They haven't
They're
got a
gonna
clean.
batter
They haven't got a
teams.
clean sheet in how many? I forgot how many.
But
I
they've
want to say like
won, that's the
13.
thing.
Yeah, I
The
know.
clean sheets are irrelevant if you're winning. That's the thing.
I know, but I just find
Mm.
it so interesting.
Yeah. That just shows how good their mentality is and the attack. I mean, to be fair, I don't know. It's probably an unpopular opinion, but I reckon Salah has dropped off quite a bit.
No, I'm
the
100% on
last
that.
Since he got
to 8
injured, I
months.
mean, he's a bit.
Remember that season he scored 40 odd goals or whatever it was in all competitions.
Yeah, and
and I was
what,
looking
debut
at him
season, that
going,
one?
my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at him going, my God, he's like top 3 or 4 in the world. Now I probably would.
I think Mane's better than him
I
right
don't
now.
even think Salah will get my top 10 anymore. He's just dropped off. And maybe that's a little bit like.
It's a bit harsh. He's still really
Yeah,
good.
He's still good, but.
I think Mane's better than him
I
right
think
now.
it's
Yeah.
because the team as a general is adapting and moving forward, where the spotlight's not on him. That
Yeah.
first season where Liverpool really shined,
Carried them, yeah.
it came from Salah, and now the whole team has come back and they've become a solid team altogether.
Yeah. I think Mane is definitely a better player than Salah in my opinion.
How do you think they'll do now? Fabinho's injured because obviously they've got the busy.
And Alisson
No.
out
I
for
think they'll
next
do
game.
all right because when
Yeah.
you look at their midfield, they can fill in. So say they want to put Henderson, and then they've got Milner, they've got Wijnaldum, they've got Lallana, they've got player Kate is injured as well, isn't he? I'm not sure how long for. I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
sure he came.
I mean, I
off.
haven't seen him for a while, so.
Yeah, he hasn't really settled in at Liverpool, has he, Kate?
No, I mean, for the amount of hype he had coming in, he hasn't
when
really
he
done
first
that well.
joined, everyone was saying he's going to be like the next probably Vieira or something, but I just haven't really seen him.
He hasn't really
shine, to be
done
honest.
much. I mean, he's been solid.
Yeah, but he hasn't really played enough. You got Chamberlain as well. We're forgetting about Chamberlain. He's a brilliant
I
player.
think every player, if you put them in the Liverpool team wherever they play, they'll look solid because if they have a mediocre performance, they'll still win. Someone will still get a wonder goal and they'll get glossed over their bad performance. So I think
On the form right now, they'll just get luck everywhere they go.
But, moving on from Man City and Liverpool, so we all agree though, right, that Liverpool, if they get past the Christmas period, they've basically won
It's
the
done.
title.
Yeah.
It's done.
100%.
So Leicester obviously beat Everton, 94th minute. Iheanacho, originally offside, then VAR changed it to give Iheanacho the goal. I can't see many teams beating Leicester at the minute.
No, that goal definitely shows that they're title contenders. Because to be a title contender, you need like the bit of luck.
Keep going until
Yeah.
the last minute. You know, if that was West Ham, we would have kept it in the corner and gone for a 1-1. But
Did you see the reaction when the goal got?
mate, they
They all jumped
jumping
on
on
Rodgers,
the
yeah.
manager and
That goal
going mad.
infuriated me. You know, a minute over the added time, and yeah, this game went on. Like usually,
When you're in the attack,
Yeah, but
you're
that's
allowed to.
because an Everton player, Sadiba, he was literally laying on the floor, got hardly even touched, laid on the floor. He was clearly time wasting, so the referee stopped the watch.
yeah, true.
You want a time waste, then it's karma, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I guess.
I just think don't time waste if you give the opposition to have a rest and then come back at you.
Well, it's tactical, isn't it? It's part of the game. You don't get
Yeah.
booked.
Yeah,
for
and it
most
cost
of
them.
the
If
time.
he hadn't have been on the floor, they probably wouldn't have scored because they wouldn't have that little bit of energy left in their legs that they regained when he was sitting there crying his eyes out, looking like he'd just been shot, when no one had even bloody touched him.
Yeah.
But Jamie Vardy, I think it's a real shame that he's retired from international football.
Oh, but I think it's for the longevity of his career. I don't think if
Yeah.
he's still playing international football, I don't think he'll be banging them as much. He'll still be.
And he's got the pace, definitely got the pace to still
Somehow
go for the
still.
next
I
3 or
don't
4
think
years.
England need him, to be honest.
They don't
either
need
way.
him, but like
I feel like England have got so much squad depth and choice that it would just be too much if we had him.
So Brendan Rodgers has been asked by many media outlets about whether he'd take the Arsenal job.
Oh, yeah, he
he's
said-
basically said, "Why would I want to leave Leicester?"
But do you know what? When he got asked, is there like a release clause in his contract? He goes, "Oh yeah, there is in every manager." Basically saying,
And
see,
he
like,
hasn't exactly slated Arsenal in that. He's left it open, I do think.
I don't know. He's literally just said, "Why would I leave Leicester?" But he's not saying, "Oh, Arsenal are not, right for me or whatever."
I think he's got like one eye on like
I think he's
Arsenal.
waiting for Leicester's form to slightly dip, and then he'll go, "Right, this is my time."
Yeah.
Would you take Brendan Rodgers at Arsenal? Because obviously you're an Arsenal fan, Oscar. What do you think?
I would definitely take him. I'd take a range of managers. He would definitely be one of them. I rate his performance at Leicester at the moment, and I don't know. I just feel like we need a manager that's gonna be a progressive manager. A 4 or 5 year thing, like Poch.
Yeah, project. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. But when Emery came in, I never thought that much of him. He had the PSG job, and I thought, well, PSG, it's like a Man City job.
The fact
Yeah.
that Emery got
yourself.
called the Spanish Brendan Rodgers, I mean, it
And
just doesn't show that now.
His first year at PSG, Emery, Monaco won the league, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he didn't even win the league.
He did it
But saying
awful
that,
for
Monaco
PSG.
did have an amazing team. That
Oh yeah. But at the same time, when you're at PSG, you have to.
You're
win
expected
the
to win.
league.
The league's not
Yeah.
even like they don't want you. Like
No,
you
it's
have to.
No, it's
Yeah.
guaranteed.
It's not a want,
Isn't it? It's
it's-
when
almost
you've got
guaranteed.
that oil money, you need
Oh
to
mate,
win.
if you don't win the league in France, talking about PSG, the fans want you beheaded on the spot. It's
They've
like
like won the league before even the first kick of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, of the
yeah,
season.
but that's almost like a given. It's
Mm.
kind of the same with Bayern's, kind of the same
Not
with
with
Juve.
not buying anymore.
Not
Yes.
quite.
Even
but,
Juve, Inter are top right now.
Yeah,
this
but over the last say decade,
Yeah,
it has been not as bad as as an extreme as PSG, but Juve and Bayern have won it most years,
Yeah.
and I think both Serie A and Bundesliga are starting to change for the better, but the French league all the time PSG have
Just a
got all
farms
this money.
league
That's
with
it,
PSG.
innit? Yeah, I just like what Oscar. What's your opinions on Pepe? Do you stick with him, give him more game time, or do you?
I feel like
get rid of him?
whenever a player comes in from a different league, they're always not how you expect them to play. It's a different tempo. It's a different.
Needs
It's a
to hit the
different
gym.
game in the Premier League compared to other leagues. I think I'd definitely give him after Christmas. I wouldn't say Christmas is the best time to bring in a player. Although he's had games in the Premier League, I feel like the December period is hardcore for any player, and bringing in someone like Pepe, it might be a bit. I don't know. The tempo of the game might be out of his league, per se. I'd want him back just after Christmas.
But
So you
Freddie
stick
Lundberg
him
needs to
on-
play him. I think. Like he has to be. He has to play. To
So
even,
Arsenal
you'd stick
need
him.
him.
So you'd stick him on the bench until January.
I say Arsenal definitely need him, but I think he wouldn't even come close to his form that he could be after.
But would you not pick and choose? Say you play him. So for example, this week coming up, game week 15. So Arsenal play. Who is it on Thursday? Isn't it?
they play Brighton, I think.
Is it Brighton?
Yeah.
So you've got Brighton Thursday, is it? Yeah.
Mm.
So you're playing on Thursday and then you're playing on the Sunday. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
sure.
Brighton.
And so would you not play Pepe, say in the Thursday game, to give, say, Aubameyang or Lacazette a rest, and then bringing Lacazette and Aubameyang back in
I'd
at the
definitely
weekend?
play him on the Thursday games.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't play him on the weekend games. Oh, and if so, I'd put him on the bench until the second half.
Yeah.
He's got quick legs. He's got.
So
skills.
would you play Pepe against a slightly slower paced team? So say you're playing Burnley,
Yeah.
would you play him against them, or do you reckon he's not physical enough against them?
I wouldn't
or?
play him against Burnley. I would play him against Brighton. I feel like they're a team that, a few tricks, a bit of pace, you get past Dunk and all that.
But don't you think he needs to get game time to prove himself? Like everyone's saying, oh, he's a flop. He just gets
I
put on
think
the
he
bench.
needs to be
that game
given
time will
time to
come
develop
in the
Yeah.
Thursday night
Yeah.
football.
But if you look at someone like Ali, I remember at Chelsea, this basically, Rory on the kickoff, he was saying this, that there was a guy called Lewis Baker at Chelsea and he wasn't given game time and Ali was, and Ali nearly went to Chelsea. And then look what Ali's become, and Lewis Baker's now, I'm pretty sure he's not even at Chelsea anymore, right? Maybe on
Never heard
loan,
of
I'm
him.
not sure,
Never
I
heard
haven't
of
seen
him,
him.
So
Yeah.
And just by giving players a bit of game time, it can develop them as a player so much because you just
Yeah.
get that little bit of experience.
just
you
like
learn
look
from
like
mistakes.
Phil Foden and Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho left, got game time.
Yeah, but Phil
He's in
Foden's a
England.
decent player. But when Pep Guardiola's coming out and saying that he's the most talented player he's ever worked with, and he's
I-
worked
Pep's
with
messing him
Messi,
about.
I
He's
think
messing
that's
about.
hyping him up so they can sell him for a lot. I think that's just business.
That's just, but you know, but
I think
but
that's all
if I was
tactical.
Phil Foden, I'd be like, hold on a minute. So everything
I
he's
think
been telling me
if he
is
doesn't-
lying, then because he knows it's a lie. He's worked with Messi. He's not more talented than Messi.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like he's just a project by Pep to sell him on.
I think he thinks he's going to get the David Silva role, like when he leaves at the end of the season. And if he doesn't get that next season, he has to leave for his career because otherwise he's just going to be sitting on the bench.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think, I mean, I wouldn't mind him at West Ham, I'll be honest, but I
never
think
go.
he may
He'll,
cost
he'll go
us.
abroad if I
I
reckon.
think he costs us a bit too
PSG
much.
kind of team, I reckon.
You reckon he go to PSG?
Yeah, you see
That's
teams like
Career ruiner, isn't it?
I feel like he does. I feel like he should leave and go abroad. I want more English players to go abroad because
definitely.
a problem with our English team is
We get too many foreign players.
no, like the England national team.
Oh,
Like everyone, because they're from the same league, there's just rivalries and everything.
Yeah.
Like
Sterling and Gomez.
But say
Yeah.
you look at the French team, you got players from the Serie A, French league, you know,
Yeah.
Premier League,
yeah.
loads of different leagues.
There's no
whereas,
rivalries between them.
There's
We've only
literally-
really just got.
There's probably
Sancho.
3 leagues that for English players: Prem, La Liga, Bundesliga,
Bundesliga.
and there's literally 2 players.
La Liga,
Yeah,
who's that? La
Trippier.
Liga.
That's Trippier and Jadon
Oh yeah,
Sancho.
Trippier.
That's
Yeah.
it. And Trippier shouldn't even be in the squad, in my opinion. But we'll get onto that later on.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to Arsenal's draw with Norwich. I mean, it was a 2-2 draw. Leno with a
Beautiful
in my opinion, probably man of the match. Is that
Yeah.
right, Oscar?
I feel like we're obviously going to give it to Aubameyang just because we love him as a player, but I feel like he saved us so many times, and especially at the end
Yeah.
with that one-on-one. So, in my opinion,
That was an excellent save.
it was an excellent save. In my opinion, Leno gets the praise in the game, but given the man of the match, it's got to be Aubameyang for the 2.
Really? But you think he was more important than Leno?
I feel like he saved us so much and so
I think most of the time,
consistently.
you score 2 goals, you're probably going to get man of the match.
Yeah, striker always gets praise over any defensive player. So
Do you feel that's
Speaking
fair?
of Arsenal defence, it's still terrible.
I don't think it's fair, but you know,
It's just how it is.
it's just how it is. It's the game.
So, obviously, Emery was sacked last week.
Yeah.
And they brought in Freddie Lundberg.
Well, he wasn't he just the assistant manager?
Yeah, he's the
Ooh.
interim manager, so I think
So,
he's
like,
just
he's
the
just-
manager while they looked for someone.
Yeah.
So he's basically caretaker manager.
Yeah.
So, Oscar, you're an Arsenal fan, like we've already said. If you could bring in someone who's available, or who you think might come to the club, who would you bring in?
I would honestly love Poch just for the sake of he was the Tottenham manager. I'd like him to do that 5-year, 6-year, maybe even 7-year plan of developing the team.
Would you not feel that it'd almost be like you're taking a Tottenham reject, though? Do you not feel that way?
I wouldn't feel that way because of what Poch has done for Tottenham. I feel like
I don't think you can feel that way because he went stale at Tottenham. I don't think it was Poch's fault.
I don't think it was the manager's fault. I feel like
Yeah,
all
but
the
do you not feel
players-
like if you're a Tottenham fan and you see your manager go, who you've just sacked, go to Arsenal, you're like, Arsenal have moved in such a terrible place that they're having to get our reject manager that we've just sacked to go and do the same job for them.
Then I would say how
So
did
yeah, they
Tottenham
could
feel?
say that you're 5 years behind them because
Yeah,
you want a 5-year
possibly.
project that they've already had.
But how would Tottenham feel about getting United's reject or even Chelsea's reject in Mourinho? I mean, it swings and roundabouts.
Chelsea's reject, really?
I mean, sacked twice, fine. I mean,
Yeah, but still an excellent coach there, wasn't he? Won trophies. I mean, if you ask any player like John Terry, he'd say the best manager he's worked under is Jose Mourinho.
Jose's gone and thrown his bus completely out of the window. Like he's
Oh, yeah,
parks the bus.
I swear they've won every game. Is it 3-2
Three-
twice?
no,
and
3-2.
4-2, wasn't it?
No, it's 3-2 each time. He's
Was
played
it?
3. Yeah.
Olympiacos, I
Yeah.
thought it was 4-2.
don't get me
Oh wait,
wrong.
or was it 4-2?
Was it
I-
4-2?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I
I can't
completely
remember.
rate Mourinho as a manager. I wanted him as the Arsenal manager. I wanted Unai to get sacked earlier. I feel like we missed the boat on that. I feel like also when we sacked Wenger, we did it a bit too late. I feel like could have done it 2-3 seasons sooner. We could have got Klopp, we could have got Pep.
Yeah.
You know, it is an enticing job. Maybe back then, maybe not so now.
Yeah, I don't know. Who'd actually want to go to Arsenal?
Yeah, I do
don't
feel like
know.
that. But it is a big club. It has some renowned status towards it. You know, there's some bad stigma right now, but I feel like there's potential there.
I think that's why they're trying Freddie Ljungberg. They're hoping it's a Frank Lampard, not an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Just saying, it was 4-2 to
Was it?
Tottenham against Olympiacos.
But still, they're leaking goals, really, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're scoring plenty, so all the time they're winning. I mean, obviously there is a problem at the back. All the time they're winning.
It doesn't matter anyway because Eriksen's going. I think is it
Alderweireld and
Alderweireld
Vertonghen are apparently signing new deals now.
Are
But
they?
Eriksen's definitely going. He's definitely not signing a new deal.
And
Yeah,
that's
I
one
mean,
of their big-
Mourinho
They
doesn't really
offered
want
it.
to
I'm
play
pretty
him.
sure I saw something. It was published by someone. I'm not going to mention them in case I get told off, but not very reliable source who like to put. Well, they used to like to put ladies on the on page 3. They basically said on one of their tabloid newspapers that they put out a few days back that apparently Eriksen was offered $500,000 a week by Tottenham, which doesn't sound
that
right
doesn't sound
to me.
real because
But
Yeah.
apparently he was offered around £500,000 a week, and he turned it down, which basically saying is he's not signing a new deal.
yeah,
And I can see him ending
He
up
doesn't
at
wanna be
someone
there,
like
just let him go.
Juventus.
yeah, I can see
Or
him.
Real Madrid, because they
Yeah.
I was gonna say Dele Alli. if he
Modric, they'll
comes
probably
back into
sell
form.
Modric. He's like 33
comebacks form.
now.
He is in back in form.
Oh, 2 games isn't back into form. If he does this over
Yeah, but
this
look-
December period,
He's got
But
Ali
look how
playing,
good
though.
he's been in them 2 games. Or 3 games, actually.
I mean, I can see him definitely going to Real Madrid, Ali, 100%. You know, he's a prospect. He plays well when he wants to play well.
Eriksen will. Kane, I don't reckon Kane's going to go anymore.
No, I think
No.
he's going to stay.
Kane's one of those players who
Come for that Shearer record.
I
Yeah.
just can't, he doesn't seem like the guy who's kind of really bothered. Really, that he doesn't seem like the guy who causes a fuss or anything. He just gets on with his job.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like
model
that's a bit like
professional.
Lewandowski and all. I feel like he just
Well,
gets on with it.
Well, he left Dortmund for Bayern Munich, but
Yeah, but
It's because
Gets
everyone
on
does
with
in the
it.
German league. German league.
I mean, not so much anymore. But definitely over the last, say, decade, until the last couple of years when Dortmund have been back, definitely. But so you reckon Poch you'd bring in then? Is
yeah,
that 100%?
100% I'd bring in him. Yeah.
Sean, who do you think they should bring in?
If they get him, I feel like I say this every week. Max Allegri, obviously.
Yeah,
He still doesn't have a job. So,
So you reckon they should go for him?
Or-
What?
because he's an excellent manager.
What?
He did
Poch
well
is
with.
not?
What with Juventus?
Oh yeah, but I don't know if they'll be able to get Poch. But what I reckon is going to happen. They're going to keep with Freddie Ljungberg.
So, so say Arsenal had the choice of Poch or Allegri, who would you go with?
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe Poch because he's like Premier League proven, but I don't reckon they'll get him. And I think I like Max Allegri. So
I would go with Poch, but I would happily take Allegri. Like,
So you're not
Any days.
100% on Poch.
no,
then?
I'm 100%. I would take him, but like if they announce Allegri, I would be ecstatic that
Yeah.
we've got a big manager. I don't want another Emery.
Wasn't
which,
Unai Emery a big manager? I
Not
remember
in
when
my
you went on that
Ish.
21 game unbeaten
okay, but
streak,
in the
and everyone
moment
was
when that was happening, it was like, okay, well, he's clicked with the team. It only takes a manager to click with a team for them to do well. You know, when Claudio Ranieri did bits with Leicester that season, it only took 1 season for them to just click with the players, and everything worked its way out for them to win the league. I feel like, you know, you just need that manager to do you right, like, and whoever that will be, maybe Poch or Allegri. I just hope it's either or, and we don't keep Ljungberg.
so you wouldn't want to stick with him?
No, definitely not.
Who was he manager of before the Arsenal job?
He was the assistant manager, or like youth team coach
What,
at
and
Arsenal.
I
Yeah.
don't feel that makes him
Yeah.
eligible.
I think
to
he
make-
did do some.
make them-
I think he did manage some team. I've got to.
Don't get me wrong, he's a legend of the club, but I just feel like
But
there's
look at
no
Ollie.
change there. You know, he was Unai's assistant
I think-
manager or whatever.
I think because all like the Arsenal youth players, they know him and they speak highly of him. So
Yeah,
the
but
the
that-
board's
But
pretty
look
thick
at
in.
Solskjaer. Just because you're a club legend doesn't mean you're a good manager.
Yeah, I don't feel that that matters when, if you know, he was already there, he was doing the same thing. So a simple change like that there's no real change in the way they play or how they're doing. Like, you need
no
a new
change in the
manager.
defence either, conceding two to a team that are struggling.
You need a new manager,
Yeah.
a new loaded team, and just change the way they play. And I feel like that's when you'll see the change.
Problem is that if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be worried because say you bring in someone like Potter or Allegri and they don't get backs, and you waste the opportunity of a great manager like that. And you
Then
don't
you
back
become a
him with
mid-table
money,
club.
and then he decides to walk, and then you end up with someone crap, and then you like, for example, Newcastle. I'm sure Newcastle fans will agree with me when I say this. They should have given the money to Rafa that they gave to Bruce. Yeah, Bruce is doing a good job now, but I'm sure if they could have Rafa back, they'd definitely say yes.
We'll be doing a better job.
Yeah, he would, but it's like everyone's saying that, Bruce, they're in a better position now than what they were under Rafa, but Rafa didn't have any money, and Bruce has had a bit of money. Not loads, but a bit of money.
I feel like when you get a good manager, in Mourinho even, when he had that shocking Man United defence, I can't remember what season it was, but they finished second.
Make the most of it.
And they made the most
Get
of that
every
defence.
little bit.
They set up well,
don't
and they were solid. They scored on the counter, and they made the most of it. And that's why I wanted Mourinho, because he made the most of a shocking defence in Man United, and made the most of their average strikerships.
I find him really fascinating to listen to as well. I love listening to interviews of his and stuff. When he was at Man United, I'll be honest with you, I was one of the people that hated him, said he needs to go, he's a disgrace and all this, he spent all this money. But when I look back at it, he actually did a decent job. Obviously, I'm not saying they shouldn't have sacked him, but all Man United fans, a lot of Man United fans were saying he'd done a terrible job. I was saying he'd done a terrible job. But looking back at it, he actually did a decent job. He finished second, won the Europa League, won the League Cup against Southampton. I think he did a decent job at Man United.
Yeah, he did well with what.
And
for what he had.
Yeah.
if they could have Mourinho back now,
Definitely.
I think they would over Solskjaer.
Mm.
But Man United only getting a draw with Villa. What a goal by Grealish.
Amazing player.
But do we think Grealish is ready for England first team, or do you reckon he's not quite
Madison.
there yet?
I think Madison's better. I don't know. It's
Would you not play
difficult.
both of them? Because you've got Madison, Mount, Ali, and Grealish all in a similar position,
Yeah.
all going for
think-
it. What do you think?
I think in the friendlies coming up next year, it should give him a go and see, because that's what friendlies are for. Give him a run out,
Yeah.
I
see
believe-
who works best.
Either way, we've got quite a young England team, and he is young in himself. He's only
How old is he?
23, I think.
Okay.
So
I think he's
got
slightly
years.
older. I'm not sure.
Maybe 24, but I feel like he's got a lot longer left on his career. So either way, if he doesn't come in next season or so, I feel like he has such good potential. If Villa stay up and stuff.
I personally think Grealish is better than Mount, and I know Chelsea fans will hate me for that.
And I
but
think he's better than Mount.
I just think Mount's a
different
good
players,
player. No, Mount's
Are
a
they?
good player, but Grealish is more involved than Mount.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Grealish
He's a
is
heart
such
of
a
that Villa
team
team.
player. He's got.
Oh,
it in his
if
heart.
Grealish wasn't in the Villa team, they'd be in the bottom three.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like
they'd
he's the
probably
heart
be
of
in the
them.
bottom too.
Mm.
But McGinn and Grealish stand out as the best players at Villa by a mile.
Special mention to
definitely. Maybe Mings.
Connor Houlihan, who he doesn't actually play that much for Villa, but when he does, he's scored.
He's good from set pieces.
And-
He's got a good strike on him. But,
I think I forgot how many games he's played, but I know he's got goal to game ratio is very good.
Yeah, but Villa will stay up. I like Villa. I like the way they play football. I like their manager.
Mm.
He's just a down-to-earth, lovely guy. I mean, Mac, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm special mention to Mac, good old Jesus.
Is he a Villa supporter?
No,
Rangers.
he's a Rangers
Oh.
supporter, but he
Right.
said that he knows someone. He used to always see. Was it? Oh no, that was Wilder. Was that Wilder? No, ignore me. Ignore that. Ignore. We're not going for the story. That's Wilder. I'm getting my managers mixed up. Sorry to all the listeners. I'm getting it mixed up. That's Chris Wilder that he said he met quite a few times, and he always remembered his name and that sort of thing. But I think Dean Smith is doing a really good job at Villa. Yeah, they spent a lot of money, but they still. If they hadn't have spent that money, they'd be 100% going down.
Wesley's a bit of a dud.
Mm.
Yeah, he's a bit like Haller, isn't he? Bit of a
Yeah.
He's a little bit like Joe Linton in a sense.
Yeah, they're all very similar. Don't have much pace. Not very good first touch.
They're very average.
They're
put
not
it that
as
way.
strong as they look.
Yeah.
And I think I've especially Haller. I'm a bit disappointed. Like, first
He's
5
doing-
games.
No, I think
He had
he's
so much hype behind him, didn't he, when he signed?
Yeah, I mean when he signed,
he was the
I
best of
so,
three at
I was
Frankfurt.
so happy. Yeah, but
I think he's not getting the service really in the support.
moving on from game week 14, we're gonna start discussing our Premier League team of the decade. Now this is gonna cause a bit of debate. We're all basically how it's going to work is we're all going to agree on each position. We're going to do a formation of 4-4-2. Yeah, is that all
Yeah.
right? Or would you rather do 4-3-3?
4-4-2 is good.
Yeah,
Just do
4-4-2.
4-4-2, yeah.
Yeah, right. So in goal, for me, yeah, the last 18 months he hasn't been that good, but I'd say De Gea, he's probably the best goalkeeper in the world for about 4 or 5 years, and you can't ignore that. And I think he was just ridiculous, and I think he gets a bit. People don't give him the respect he deserves because he's had a bit of poor form, but he's still a brilliant goalkeeper. And I think for me, it's got to be De Gea. Oscar.
For me, for what he's done for Chelsea, although, you know, it ended prematurely in the decade, I feel it's got to be Cech. You know, winning the Champions League and being a legend of the club, although it may not all be in this decade, it's got to be him for me.
What do you think, Sean?
I also agree with Oscar. I think it has to be Cech.
Fair
Like
enough.
the wonders
I'm
he did.
outvoted.
The wonders he did for in the Champions League final,
Yeah.
and he was okay at Arsenal. Like he was good.
No, he
Yeah,
was
good.
underrated at Arsenal.
Yeah.
He put in a shift. You know,
Yeah.
he done the
He's-
job.
Model
He's
professional.
he was a special keeper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but Cech for me, all-time best Premier League goalkeeper, alongside a few others, but definitely up there, the best ever.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't all in this decade, but
Yeah.
definitely in this decade he done wonders as well.
2012, wasn't it? The
Yeah.
Champions League against
Mhm.
Bayern. Yeah, I fair enough, lads. I'm not disappointed with that selection. So in goal, we have gone with Petr Cech. We'll go to left back and right
Yes.
back. We'll start off with left back.
Ashley Cole for me.
Ashley Cole, why?
Yeah, because it was he was a brilliant left back. Also, to be honest, I can't really think of many other people, but Ashley Cole, he was just great, wasn't he, for Chelsea?
Yeah, I'm with that. Ashley Cole as well. There isn't that array of many brilliant fullbacks in this decade, and I think Ashley Cole, he's done his wonders for Chelsea and back in the day for Arsenal, so I'll have a good geezer.
I'm just gonna. Obviously, it doesn't matter my vote anymore, but a special mention to Azpilicueta. I know Oscar, you don't particularly like him,
Don't
but
rate him.
I think he's been so important for Chelsea in the titles that they've won over the last decade. Do you not think he deserves a shout? I'm not saying he should be in the team, but
He's done a shift.
I mean, I put him as my right back because he's a right back.
yeah, but but under certain managers, he's played left back and then right back.
And centre back.
Even played centre back. He's played everywhere, hasn't he? So.
I think he's such a servant.
Yeah.
Whereas
But anyway,
I've
we'll go Ashley Cole left back, which is fair enough. And right back, so Sean, you're going with Azpilicueta,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Wait,
Oscar.
I'm going with Zabaleta.
So I've got to pick out of those two.
No,
yeah?
you say your opinion. And
Well,
then
what
we'll
is your
debate
opinion?
It freeway.
You're trying to sliver out.
I would say Kyle Walker, but I don't think when he was. If he had stayed at Tottenham and not won anything, I don't think he'd even be in the shout.
Conversation.
He didn't really do much
Yeah.
at Tottenham, let's be honest.
Yeah,
he's quick.
he's always a good player though. But I think for what he's done for Man City, I've got to go with Zabaleta. You know, he's obviously at West Ham now. He's past his best, put it that way, but he's still a brilliant bloke. He's good for the dressing room. That's why we got him at West Ham. But he was brilliant at Man City. Good going forward, decent defender. Once again, another model professional, and I just think he's the one for me. Azpilicueta, like you said, and obviously I mentioned him at left back. he's a brilliant player, but I think Zabaleta did more for Man City. You know,
Yeah.
Man City fans adore Zabaleta.
Yeah. And he's put in a shift at West Ham and all. Like,
Yeah,
mean,
but
for
I think
his age, he did.
He's had his time.
Yeah.
And
He's leaving at the end of the season, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's going back to Argentina. But,
Yeah.
moving on to the centre halves, we'll go. Well, we can just say both of them. I suppose. Do you want to go one at a time? So we'll just go left centre back. I mean,
Wait, are we doing both or just one at a time?
we'll just do one at a time.
All right, my first one has to be Vidic. Was he in this decade or was he not? I think he was.
Didn't he leave in,
about
like,
half
11?
of it.
Oh,
I think.
crap.
Or
Yeah.
12.
All right,
I don't
He's
think we
early
should
decade.
include Vidic.
No.
should we not? I don't.
Vincent Company.
That,
Oh,
yeah,
see,
yeah, definitely in
I
mine.
forgot about him. Yeah, actually,
Vincent Company's in there. So left centre back is Vincent Company. Let's be honest.
And
Yeah.
then I guess we'll just have to definitely agree on Van Dijk for right centre back.
Oh, I
Right
have
there.
Terry.
But the thing is with Van Dijk, this is team of the decade, not team of the last 2.5 years.
It doesn't matter when
Well, I mean, he wasn't that good at Southampton.
Yeah, I don't think he should be. Maybe if you to say we do one in 5 or 6 years' time, he'd be in your team of the decade if he's still at Liverpool. But I don't think he should be within the shout.
Yeah, but you know, if Messi came to bloody Man City for 2 seasons, top goal scorer.
No, but he wouldn't be in the team of the decade.
No, he wouldn't be in the team.
He'd be in the team, maybe in the best team of the Premier League. But
Okay, so if you was doing the Serie A team of the decade, would you put Ronaldo in it?
No,
no,
You wouldn't.
no,
You wouldn't.
definitely not.
that ain't been
We're
amazing.
talking about performances, but anyway, we'll stick to the Premier
Okay.
League one. I'll definitely put him in the La Liga one. But anyway, so the other centre back,
I have Terry. I think he's worth at least a shout.
yeah, it's
He's a
He's
leader.
been through the 2 decades, but more so in the first decade to 2010.
yeah. I think it's fair enough to go for Terry. Yeah, should we go with
Yeah.
Terry?
Terry and company.
So far we've got Petr Cech, we've
Mhm.
got Ashley
Cole.
Cole,
Mhm.
we've got Zabaleta, and then we got Company
Mhm.
and Terry. Not a bad defence there, is it?
Very diverse clubs.
Not
only
too
2.
bad.
Mm.
We'll go with our midfield. So what we're going to do is 4 in the midfield. But say you want De Bruyne at left mid, it doesn't matter. We're not going tactic. We're not working out tactics and all this. We're just going to pick 4 of the best midfielders over the last decade. For me, I think Fernandinho's got to be in there. What do you think?
No.
Yeah.
I
No.
mean,
I think-
he's basically been there the whole time.
It was-
Are we forgetting
like-
the players that have played in the Premier League in the midfield in the last 10 years?
But like when you
Well-
look at Fernandinho, what he actually did for Man City.
There's 4
Like, he's
positions.
a
Oscar,
Okay,
so
let's
don't
go
worry.
left mid to right mid, even
Right.
though the positions doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah,
it would
left
just
mid,
help.
left mid first.
Okay,
Alright,
then
Oscar.
Eden Hazard.
Hazard,
Yeah,
yeah, most
definitely.
definitely.
Centre mid, we can give a special shout to Torre.
Yeah,
Yes.
We agree on that? Everyone?
yeah.
Other centre mid.
Kante.
Well, we can give a
No.
shout.
For what
I
he's
don't- I
done,
wouldn't-
for what he's done,
He did bits in one
Leicester,
season
Leicester,
for Leicester,
Chelsea,
and he's done well.
and he
for
won the
3
World Cup. I
seasons.
know we're talking about Premier League, but he did also win the World Cup.
Let's
I
say-
think Kante's got to be in the team.
I don't,
Let's say
think,
he's
I don't
done
think
well for
he's.
4
I think he's in the
seasons.
conversation. I don't think he's has to. Be
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't.
team.
Nah.
Who else should you put in there then?
Lamps. Yeah.
Lampard, yeah. Is that team of this
Highest goal-
decade?
yeah.
Yeah, alright, okay, we can go with Lampard.
Lampard and Torre.
I'm trying to think. When did Lampard even leave Chelsea?
It's about 2015, 2014, 'cause he left for
Yeah.
Man City, and then he was there for a year, and then he went to
Yeah.
LA. Was it? No,
I know he stayed
No,
until
he
He went to
to
New
shit.
York.
New
well,
York, but it wasn't.
FC, whatever it is.
yeah. So far we've gone with Hazard, Yaya Toure, Lampard.
Yep.
Who's the other one?
De Bruyne. That's a B.
Nah,
I was gonna say Salah.
God, nah.
Salah.
Salah, no.
no.
You don't think De Bruyne?
No, I
He's
don't think
so
he's quite
special.
there yet.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite.
Or-
He hasn't
wait,
done enough
I
yet.
just,
Okay,
I just
then-
forgot someone that actually has to be in there.
Who?
David Silva.
No, scrap that. Skulls.
What? Any?
Nah,
nah.
Scholes wasn't this.
Yeah, he
Nah,
was.
He was like right at the
Well,
start of the decade.
Just,
I don't think he was there long enough.
it has that David Silva. It has to be.
Yeah, I think
I
David
think-
Silva. He's been a
I can't believe
key
I
part
forgot
of
him.
Man City winning all these league titles.
True that.
So midfield: Hazard, Yaya
Yaya
Toure, Lampard. I still don't.
Dunno, I
really
don't know
agree
how I
with
feel
that.
about
Sorry,
that.
he got the highest amount of goals for any like midfielder in the Premier League ever.
So like,
Yeah, I get
when
that.
I'm thinking,
but
I
he
just
didn't-
keep thinking like I keep thinking past the decade, and there's no team
No,
of
it's
the
not.
decade.
It's not. I
All
remember.
right, we'll go Lampard because he is an excellent player. But then you could say Gerrard, but no.
I put
we'll-
Gerrard, but not as good as Lampard.
Well, yeah, we'll go with Lampard, and
Then
then
it has to be
on
David
the
Silva.
right hand side, we're going with
Silva.
I guess.
David Silva. Don't slate us in the comments. This is literally just so we can fit everyone in. So don't complain saying that Silva's not quick enough to be a right midfielder. We know we're not stupid. Maybe I am, but not the other two. So the front two, you can put in a winger if you want, but we're going to try and keep it to strikers. I'm going to say my two first. We're just going to go with both of them. It's got to be Kane and Aguero. What do you think?
It's got to be Aguero.
Got to be Aguero.
I just don't know about Kane. Let's be honest.
What,
I think
170 odd goals is
I
it
don't
in all
know.
competitions?
I don't know. I think something in my head just doesn't like let him. I think it's because he's not the most flashiest. But when you actually look at him and what he's done, he probably is. But I don't know. It's just something.
So yeah, we're all agreeing on Aguero. So we'll
Most
put Aguero
definitely.
right striker.
Just a little honourable
Who
mention.
were you all saying on the left then?
Honourable mention. We could have Suarez. You know.
Uh,
wasn't here for the
or
longest.
Torres.
he had a couple of good seasons.
Torres was fantastic.
Torres, yeah, but
Let's be
Oh,
honest.
this-
Suarez had what 3 good seasons where he was
Yeah.
like the best in the league.
whereas Kane's had like what
I think,
five.
I think it might actually have to be
Five
Kane.
very-
He's so consistent.
5
Kane
good
just is such a
seasons.
good goal scorer, and he's won the
Yeah.
Golden Boot so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, last season, I'm pretty sure it was the first season in a while he hasn't won it.
Yeah.
But if we're looking at stats, right? Let me just get this up. Player comparison. Let's have a look at how many Premier League goals that Kane has scored.
I
So,
mean, being the Arsenal fan I am, could definitely just say Aubameyang and get over and done with. You know. Since
so Harry Kane has scored 187 goals in the Premier League,
it's decent.
and he's only
This is
started playing
decent.
the last 5-6 years.
How old is he? 26.
Think about that. Yeah.
25 or 26, yeah.
314 appearances, 187 goals, 31 assists.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably
if
does
that's
have to
not good enough to get in the team of the decade, then who
be- Yeah,
is?
probably Kane and Aguero.
Kane and Aguero. Are we agreeing with that? I know you don't want to because you're an Arsenal fan, but
But when you actually
if
look
if,
at
but
it,
if Aubameyang had scored that many goals over the last
Well, he's the
decade,
best player in the world, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're agreeing on Kane and Aguero.
Yeah.
So our team, just to read it out to all the listeners, we've got Cech in goal, Company and Terry as our centre halves. We've got Zabaleta and Ashley Cole. We've got Yaya Toure, Lampard, Hazard on the left. We've got
Silva.
Silva on the right, and then Kane and Aguero up front. And obviously, with every team comes a manager. Who's your manager of the decade?
Well, it's got to be.
Got to be who?
I mean.
Don't you dare say Unai Emery.
I mean, like, my mind's going Mourinho, even though I know he had the patch period, but even like maybe Alex Ferguson or Sir Alex.
It's got to be Moise.
But Sir Alex was only
I know, but like
a
just part of me
decade.
is just
He was only in this decade
Yeah,
for like 3 years.
yeah, I know that, but then part of me feels like it's just Alex Ferguson. And
Yeah,
that's-
Fergie. I was gonna say. On a serious note, it's got.
but
to be
I
Fergie.
don't know, or Mourinho.
But Pep.
Or even
None
Klopp.
Of us have said Pep.
Yeah,
or even
yeah,
Klopp.
well, yep.
Or
Well,
Pep.
anyone would be a good manager when they get to spend $1 million, or $1 billion even.
Well, PSG have done it, and they still can't do much.
Well-
Yeah, well, no one really cares about PSG, do they?
Does anyone
Or the
care about
league.
Man City?
They care about the league they're in. They're a small club which have got oil money. Let's be honest.
Wait, who?
City.
I mean,
They're
They
the
were-
smallest out of the top 6. They've got the least amount of fans. I mean, it's just if you gave Arsenal $1 billion.
I mean,
they'd
to
be
be
a brilliant
fair,
team.
when I don't, I probably know about 2 Man City fans.
I know one.
know
No, I
one.
know 2 Man City fans. Yeah,
I know
One of them
one.
isn't even really a Man City fan. That's Noah.
yeah. Noah. Yeah. Shout out to Noah.
Yeah, shout out to Noah Joseph. He's not a Man City fan at all, but he calls himself a Man City fan, even though he used to be a Chelsea fan. But anyway, Noah, please don't kill me.
Yeah. I saw him the other day. TK Maxx.
Man, I saw him at the bus stop. playing with Aaron.
Oh yeah,
playing
I saw him
football.
with Edward.
It's supposed to be so interesting for the listeners who don't know who Noah is.
Getting back onto the subject. So we've all got to agree on a manager. I would probably. It's very difficult because you kind of came out of the Wenger and Sir era. We've gone into the Pep and the Klopp era, but who's in the middle? It's got to be Mourinho, hasn't it?
Well, yeah and no. There's no real middle manager apart from him.
I think
You've got to
I
rather
can't
give
give
it
it
to
to Klopp
someone.
if they won the Premier
Or
League.
would you
then I'll
say
give it to
Brendan
them.
Rodgers or not?
No.
No, he'd been
No?
a Celtic for doing all.
Yeah, I was saying that. I feel like
Poch?
No, actually, he has done wonders for Spurs.
I mean, he took them from mid-table
Well,
side to top four.
I think we
every
should give it to
season.
Poch. He's so he didn't win anything. I don't know, but he didn't win
Which is it,
anything.
But-
Either way, you're going
but
to
winning
name a
everything-
manager of which has about 5 years in this decade. You go Fergie's 5
But
years.
imagine
into the
this
start
though,
of it,
right? So
or
say
Poch
we
at the
bring
end.
it. Say we bring in a random manager from. No. So say no. So say we bring in Hasenhüttl, right? Because just to compare it to Poch, bring in Hasenhüttl at West Ham. We go from mid-table to top 4 every season within 5 years.
Yep.
We'd be treating him like God, wouldn't we? So,
Yeah.
but,
Actually, you have to
and then-
remember
but
Poch
if
was
we
at
wouldn't be moaning,
Southampton before
But
as
if
well.
we hadn't won a League Cup, we don't care. We're getting top 4 every season. It's better than we were 5 years ago.
So what
getting
is your
10th
point?
every season.
Is this about Pep?
What? No. I'm sort of talking about Poch.
Okay.
I'm saying that Poch probably deserves
Yeah, I think we
manager
should
of the
give it.
decade.
I think we should give it to Poch.
not
'Cause
based,
he was at
not
South-
based on
he's
trophies, but on
he
the
was at
job that he
Southampton
was
before.
given.
But it doesn't matter.
He did the job
If
that
you-
he was assigned.
If you took Wolves over, they're a solid team. Tottenham were a solid team. They were consistent, top 6 realistically. I'm not saying they were winning things. They're a top 6 team. They're solid. They were consistent.
But they weren't
Wolves
a
in a sense.
consistent top 6 team when he took over, really.
In a sense,
That was just a
right? Let's just
mid-table
say
team.
Wolves. If someone took over, like Poch took over Wolves, and they improved in a sense in their game quality and got in Champions League final, but they didn't win anything. They sack him and they get a new manager. Where have they gone? I know they've done wonders for the team, but sell a few players and that's it. It's gone.
But I still think he did a brilliant. Who would you have over him then? Who'd you have over him? If
You
don't
rather
have
say
Poch?
Poch for the last 5 years or Fergie for the first 5 years of the decade. So it's whatever you want, first 5 years or last 5 years.
Well, I'll let
I
you
think we
two
should still
decide.
give it to. I don't know. It's either
Fergie?
Poch or Alex, really.
Should we go Fergie? Because if it is Fergie,
Yeah, I should go
Yeah?
Fergie.
Or we just go and be different to other.
Mourinho.
I was going to say Poch. Should we go different to other?
No, let's be Fergie.
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 Right, Fergie then.
Fergie.
So Fergie, after about, 10 minutes of discussing our
Even though he
manager.
said Fergie at the beginning of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Fergie is our manager of that amazing team.
Amazing.
Before we move on from our Premier League team of the decade, who would you have as the captain in the team? John Terry, it's got to be.
Oh
isn't
yeah,
it?
John Terry.
Or company.
John Terry.
Terry? Yeah, Terry is the one, isn't he, really?
He's leader. He might try and shaggy misses, but
Got to do what you got to
Maybe Oscar's used to that, so. But do you agree with that, Oscar?
do. Yeah, I'll give him it.
Yeah?
But I don't know. Kane's a leader and all.
Yeah,
No,
but not on
Terry,
the same
Terry.
extent that John Terry is. When you think of captain, you think Terry, Gerrard, players like that.
True.
So we're going to go with John Terry, yeah? John Terry is our captain for this wonderful team, pretty much working alongside Sir Alex Ferguson. I wouldn't mind that of West Ham.
I'll tell you
their
what.
prime.
It's a random thought.
oh yeah, they're all in the prime by the way right now.
It's
Yeah,
it's a random thought. But we completely glossed over RVP. We completely forgot about him.
Yeah, but he's yeah.
no, it's
but
still Kane and
We're talking about.
Sorry,
Kane.
RVP was class.
Yes, he was class.
You're an Arsenal fan, you
but
shouldn't like him
Kane
anymore. He
is-
went to-
It doesn't matter if I
Kane
should
scored more
like him.
goals.
True.
Right, just to make sure I'm not mugging myself off, I'm looking at how many goals they both scored.
RVP scored a few, to be fair.
A few.
A
I think,
few.
and maybe
Just
a
a
few more than a
few.
few.
Nah, yeah, one or two. No, he probably scored like around 100. I'm not really sure.
I take it you were annoyed when he left for.
I was annoyed, but then I saw this interview about a statement about it, and it really wasn't his fault. I think the interview clarified.
He wasn't offered a new deal. Was
Yeah,
he?
so
Apparently.
he couldn't have done anything about that.
So Robin van Persie, he made 334 appearances, scored 168, got 57 assists. So he got more assists than Kane, but Kane got more goals in less appearances. So as a striker, I think you've got to go with Kane. Don't you think?
I think yes, but RVP was more fun to watch, more pacey, flair, scored bangers.
Yeah, I get your point, but we're going to stick with
Yep,
Kane and
deal.
because we've told the listeners that that's our team, so we're going to go with it.
Yeah, okay.
So we're going to do a little preview, not too long, not to bore the listeners for any longer. We're going to do a little preview on game week 15. So we got games on tomorrow on Tuesday. We got games Wednesday, and we've also got games Thursday. You got Saturday, you got Sunday,
then Monday,
and then we've got West Ham Arsenal on the Monday. Not sure how I feel about that, but
it's a must lose for both of us, really.
They're both just going to be giving the balls to each other. Okay, go on, attack us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just leave the ball in the centre of the pitch and just go for a 0-0.
Yeah, I would take the 0-0 over the embarrassment of losing to West Ham.
I'd rather just get smacked or smack you, to be honest. I don't want a 0-0. But anyway, you got Man United Spurs.
Yeah.
What are we thinking about that game?
I'd love a Spurs to thrash United.
What, a Mourinho to cup his ear at the Man United?
Yeah.
Spurs will destroy them.
No, I don't think destroy.
I reckon
I
they
think
will.
I think it'll be a. I reckon it'll be
3-1.
3-1 to Spurs. I think
Yeah.
Kane's.
What, you think that's not destroying them?
It is, but it's not.
It is if it went 3-0.
Destroying is like 5-0.
Yeah, that's my opinion of destroy.
But I think
Dele Alli probably to score again.
yeah, Dele Alli, Kane, maybe like a. I don't know, maybe like
And
a.
already.
Yeah, someone odd who doesn't usually score, but so we're all saying for a Spurs win, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Moving on, we've got the Merseyside derby.
Well, Liverpool
who's
win.
actually at home? Is it Liverpool?
A
Yeah,
thrashing,
it's at Anfield.
I think
At
it'll be a
Anfield.
thrashing or a draw.
No,
I feel
Liverpool
like
will
that.
win, and then Marcus Silva has to be sacked. Then
I think it will be a 2-0 to Liverpool. I
Yeah.
can't see them conceding to
it'll
it.
be interesting to see the team, Liverpool, because obviously they like
Injuries.
I think
they played on the weekend and played in the Champions
yeah.
League.
I think
and
Liverpool
played.
will go 1-0 up, and then they'll kind of hang on, like the Champions League final. They kind of hang on, not so much worrying, but kind of being a bit more cautious, and then Everton will start going for them late on, and then Liverpool will pounce, get 2-0, and that'll be done. And Marcus Silva will probably get the sack if he doesn't get the sack already.
I'd like to see a shock loss to Liverpool so they can't reach on that invincible season. But,
To be honest, I want Everton to win so they keep Silva
I
No,
don't.
and they don't get Eddie Howe.
They're too close to West Ham.
No, because then they don't get Eddie Howe, and we might get Eddie Howe. That's what I'm saying. Don't you think?
No, I want Liverpool to win.
Fair enough. I'd like to see a bit of a tighter title race, but so we all think Liverpool are going to win, though, yeah? Or do you think
of
draw?
course. I want a draw,
But
but
what do you
it
think?
would just be a win.
So your
won't it?
prediction is a win.
My prediction is a 4-1 win.
4-1.
Yeah.
That would probably be like, I don't know, 2-0. I don't really see him scoring Everton.
Yeah.
I see them going 2-0 up first half, then sitting off for ages. I feel like Everton will score, and then they'll score 2 late ones.
Okay, that's a bold prediction, but we'll see. See next week, see if you're right. Then we've got Southampton Norwich, which is a bit of a important game down the bottom there.
Mm-hmm.
Both scrapping to stay up. Obviously, it's a bit early for that sort of talk,
I
but
think Norwich, I see them winning it. They've had a
What,
bit
at-
of form. recently.
is it at?
Did Southampton win on the weekend? Wait.
Yeah, they did. They beat Watford, didn't they?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see it, but a lot of people are saying there was a VAR decision.
Oh, Gineppo,
Handball or
yeah,
something.
he
Apparently flicked
like,
it up
oh,
with
he
his
like, yeah,
arm
he
or
turned and
something.
then handball. It's, I don't know how we didn't get.
They didn't give it, did
uh,
they?
From
they
what I've
did.
heard,
Oh.
it sounds ridiculous.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's one angle when you see it, you can clearly see it's
But I'm gonna
handball.
watch Match of the Day, the rest of Match of the Day, because I wasn't. By the time it got to about midnight, I was absolutely knackered after watching I'm a Celebrity, and I was just there like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the West Ham game, and I got to the Tottenham game, and I almost fell asleep, so I just turned it off. But I'm definitely gonna watch the rest tonight. So Southampton, Norwich, what we going with?
I don't know. I reckon Southampton get it. It'd be very tight because I feel like they're both
2-1 Norwich.
they're both in decent form, aren't they? Really, well, for bottom of the league.
So what you going with, Sean?
Southampton probably.
What?
Maybe 1-0.
1-0, right?
Norwich 2-1.
I think it'll be Southampton 2-1. But
Ings will probably score.
but it's one of those games where it could go either way, but
Yeah.
we'll see how
Yeah.
it turns out.
They'll both be
I
up for
reckon
it.
if
I prefer
Southampton,
Norwich.
if Norwich lose, I do worry for them. I really like Norwich because they've got so much courage, but the defence just isn't quite good.
They got
enough.
that
Concede too many
Zinnemann
goals.
back. Who
Yeah,
I
they
think they're
just
like
concede too many goals. That's why I said at the start of the season they go down. They concede too many goals, and that's just that. You can't, like in the Championship, you can afford to concede goals in a way because the defences aren't as good, and you can kind of paint over the cracks by scoring a lot of goals. Like they used to, win games 3-2, 4-3, 5-4, and all this. Whereas in the Premier League, defence is a bit better, and if your strikers aren't on their game, you're pretty
like Pookie
stuffed.
hasn't been at the moment.
You what?
Like Pookie hasn't been at the moment.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
scored on the
he
weekend,
scored a
Just
bit, quite a
fluky
lucky
at the start
goal.
of the
Yeah,
season. I don't think he's really an amazing player. Feel like
I think he'd do well at an Everton. Well, what do you think? If he went to Everton, would he be better?
I don't think any striker could do well at Everton.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Especially, I think he's just a mediocre player that,
I mean, he
their
did
main
And
he
he's
did
like
bad
little-
at Celtic
little
and
purple
everything.
patch.
So.
Yeah, but he's just a mediocre striker, a main striker in a Premier League club. He's bound to get goals every now and then, and bound to have a good form and a bad form. I just feel like he's nothing special. He's nothing any team would go, we need a Pookie. Like just a player that you sign and hope he plays well.
Finishing it off, we've got West Ham versus Wolves.
Wolves are draw merchants, so
Yeah, they have
y-
8
you'll
draws
be-
this season.
It's
You'll-
at Wolves as well.
You'll be lucky if you get a draw. I think if it's not a draw, you'll lose. Either way.
I think it will be a 2-0 to Wolves. What do you think?
David Martin, another clean sheet. Go on.
No.
2-1
Go
to
on your
Wolves.
I
Or-
don't know. I
What are you
actually.
going with 0-0?
I reckon it might be a draw or Wolves win. I really don't know.
Yeah,
So what you
it's got to
going
be
with?
them two.
Just choose.
Just
Sean.
draw, 0-0.
0-0 draw. Right, so you're going with 2-1 Wolves, and I'm going with 2-0 Wolves. Who have Arsenal got? They've got Brighton, haven't they? Is it Brighton?
Yeah,
I
they're
think
Brighton.
so. Yeah.
They're Brighton at home.
But so you don't think they'll have someone in at Arsenal before that
No.
game, do you?
I feel like they might long it out for a while. I
Do you
believe
think that's good or bad?
bad. I want as soon as possible a manager in.
Yeah, they're
change
at home
things
to
up.
Brighton on Thursday.
Ugh.
If you don't win that, I think they'll be a bit more on their toes about trying to find a new manager.
Yeah, I feel like if it's an Arsenal win, it'll be 3-1. I feel like if it's an Arsenal loss, it will be 2-1 to Brighton.
I think it will be a.
Arsenal are bound to score.
I think
either
it will
way.
be a 2-1 to Arsenal. I think
Yeah.
I think not. Brighton will go at them, but I think Arsenal will just get that little bit of luck.
Yeah. Either way with Arsenal, they're going to concede, and they're probably going to score
I keep thinking, Arsenal, they'll have to win
a
this
game
time.
eventually.
They'll have to, but no, I keep thinking that's this time. I'm just gonna say,
We're talking about Arsenal in 2019.
yeah, I'm just gonna say Brighton will win.
What
Jim.
score?
Yeah, like 2-1.
Yeah.
I'd love to see. I can honestly see Brighton winning it.
I can
Like,
honestly
I could see
I
Brighton
went
winning as
to
well.
Brighton, I think it was the last game of the season, last season, yeah. And I think it was a 1-0 loss or a 1-0. It was just dreadful. It was demoralising. Everyone left the stadium. We didn't even get to see
Yeah.
Ramsey do their that rounds and check the other
Yeah.
round. Just pitiful, and I see another one of those coming, to be honest. Nothing's changed since the end of last season to
Brighton
this
are a
season.
good side as well. Potter has got them playing.
Yep.
Well, whatever way every single game goes, I think this game week 15, both the games in midweek and at the weekend, it'll be key to how the Premier League shapes up. What do you think?
No.
Wait, what did you
Huh?
say again? No,
I think
blacked
that
out.
this week will be vital for how the Premier League shapes up at the end of the
Mm.
season. Because you've got games like Merseyside Derby, you've got Man United, Spurs. If Man United don't beat Spurs, I think their top 4 hopes are completely gone. Completely.
Well, where's looking now?
I think they're
their top
completely
6
gone
hake
anyway.
But I
either
think
way.
it like
I feel like
almost,
this-
like confirms it.
This December, Man United are going to get obliterated. And I think
They'll
Ollie's just
sack
going to get
him,
sacked.
Bring in someone in January.
I think they'll bring in someone,
I think they'll
End
bring in
of
Poch. I
December.
honestly think he'll go to.
and I think it'll just be the
Poch
worst
just
time
go
to bring
Bayern
someone in.
Munich. I don't know how he's.
I can't see him in Germany though. But
Who?
Poch.
Probably still don't have a manager. I don't think.
No, I don't think they do, unless they've appointed someone who no one knows about. But you got teams like Norwich and Southampton. That whoever loses that could be in a bit of a tricky situation. And then you got obviously West Ham, Wolves. If West Ham lose, they might sack the manager. Even if we did beat Chelsea,
He was
still
given
in bad form.
two games to save his job.
Yeah,
I don't
but
really
if
know.
we win at Wolves, then it'll be like the Chelsea game for.
I mean, if we
most
lose
West
bad,
Ham
he'll get
fans.
sacked.
Well, if you win at Wolves, that's definitely going to elongate the situation.
He'll be there till the end of the season. if we
I think
beat
February
Wolves.
will be there too if he wins the next game. But if
Any
he doesn't,
any excuse for the ball to not have to pay out, and they'll do
yeah,
it.
the
It's like
release clause.
6.5 million they have to pay him.
Yeah, and then they have to pay like an extra few million for the coaching staff to go.
Mm.
So, but thanks for joining us today, lads, on today's
Thank you.
podcast.
Been lovely.
Anyone who wants to have a say about what topics we choose next week, over the next week, go and follow Totally Football Podcast both on Twitter and on Instagram, and also make sure to subscribe to this channel and to follow us on SoundCloud, because this will be on SoundCloud and YouTube. If you do shout us out, we might do a little giveaway somewhere, but we'll try and get that sorted out. Maybe for the next podcast, we'll announce what we might be giving away. But thanks for joining us, lads. Make
you.
sure to like and
Thank you.
subscribe. That's me from Harrison Derlin. That's it from Sean Deacon and Oscar Wilson. Thanks for listening, and we'll hope to speak to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. See you later.